to the employees inside, but they noted the spreading odor associated with propane. The dense vapor also accumulated at ground level around the tank and the foundation of the building. The technician, standing in the midst of the propane cloud, was unable to stop the release due to the force of the jet. Over the next almost half hour, all 4 store employees remained inside, and the technicians stayed by the tank as others responding to the propane release arrived. There was no evacuation as propane continued to escape from the tank. At 10:28 a.m., shortly after the leak began, the junior technician called the lead technician, informing him of the situation. At 10:31, the lead technician called Thompson Gas Technical Support for guidance. The lead technician then called the junior technician back and likely told him to call 911. At 10:40 a.m., the junior technician made a 911 emergency call.
911, where's your emergency?
He told the operator, "I need the fire department down at the Little General Store in Gent. I've got a propane leak. I need their help to secure the area." He went on to say, "I work for Appalachian Heating. We've had a dysfunction in the tanks and I have a leaky tank." At 10:43 a.m., the county 911 operator broadcast the report of a propane leak.
Raleigh Control, Station 110, Station 110, injury on Flattop Road in Gent, the Little General, across from Flattop Lake. Report of a propane leak.
4 minutes later, at about 10:47 a.m., a Gent Volunteer Fire Department captain arrived. He ordered the store to close. The employees turned off the gasoline pumps, locked the door, and remained inside. They posted a sign on the door reading, "Store closed due to gas leak." Despite the imminent danger, no one inside or outside the building evacuated. Next, 2 emergency medical technicians arrived in an ambulance. They went to the tank to examine the technician for a frostbite injury, likely caused by contact with the liquid propane. Just after 10:50 a.m., the lead technician returned to the scene and joined the junior technician at the leaking tank. A short time later, another volunteer firefighter arrived in his personal vehicle and met the others at the tank. It was now approaching 10:53 a.m. The 2 propane technicians remained near the leaking tank. The fire captain, the firefighter, and an emergency medical technician stood nearby. The other EMT directed traffic away from the store. The 4 employees waited inside. The captain told the firefighter, "Make sure everybody's out, okay?" But 30 seconds later, as the firefighter walked toward the store, the propane found an undetermined ignition source and exploded.
911, where's your emergency? The propane tank blew up. The building is gone. It's gone, lady.
The explosion leveled the Little General Store, propelling building fragments in all directions. The propane tanks landed more than 50 feet away.
I remember the store sitting there, and when I arrived, there was nothing sitting there. And that's about the best way to describe it that I know of.
The 2 technicians, the fire captain, and the EMT standing near the leaking tank were struck by flying debris and killed. The 4 store employees and the other firefighter survived, but they sustained serious burns and other injuries. The EMT who had been directing traffic survived with an arm injury.
The liquid withdrawal valve on a propane tank is very rarely used. It is designed to enable propane companies to actually empty the tank of its contents.
The CSB performed extensive testing and examination of the liquid withdrawal valve from the tank in Gent. CSB investigators concluded that a manufacturing defect 2 decades earlier likely caused the valve to jam permanently in the open position. Only the safety plug had been preventing liquid propane from escaping. Jeff Wanko led the CSB investigation.
This is the actual valve from the incident at Gent. The CSB was able to section the valve so we can take a look at the interior mechanism and workings of this valve.